What's up YouTube? My name is Andres Restrepo and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video I'll be telling you why SF is so damn expensive, and as some of my UK friends would like to say, why is SF so bloody expensive? Do you know what I mean? Alright, that was my funny impression of a British accent, but I hope you enjoy the video. I'll give you some valid data points as to why this city is so damn expensive. Hope you enjoy. Reason number one why SF is so expensive. We have a population of around 890,000 people and a total of about 400,000 housing units. Add to that a lot of the folks that come to the Bay Area are high-paying tech workers, and that is a perfect recipe for a high cost of living. San Francisco is located on the San Francisco Peninsula, which is the beginning of Northern California, and the city is only 7 by 7 miles. Back in the mid-1850s, a lot of folks flocked to San Francisco because of the gold rush. In today's day and age, a lot of young tech workers, millennials, come to the city in hopes of a high-paying tech job and that sweet, sweet IPO money. SF saw a big population increase from 2010 to about 2020. That population increase was around 10%. There's a crazy stat that always gets thrown out there that says only 10% of San Franciscans are from San Francisco. San Francisco is a melting pot and it attracts people from all over the world, especially high talent in the tech field. That doesn't mean the city is built exclusively for techies. Previously, it had a very diverse cultural background, from artists, musicians, you name it. This city draws a lot of free-spirited individuals. San Francisco offers a lot to any of its residents. You have world-class dining, amazing bars, beautiful parks like the Golden Gate Park, and amazing scenery including the Golden Gate Bridge, the East Bay Bridge, and everything in between. San Francisco also has the cool Ocean Beach, which is known for great surfing. So come fall time, if you're a surfer, it's piping out there. Now, pre-pandemic, SF had a world-class music scene as well, which is one of the reasons why I originally moved here. We have some amazing venues and artists from all over the world would come and perform here. Needless to say, San Francisco has a lot of appealing things that makes folks want to be here. And despite all of the articles that came out in 2020 about mass exodus and people leaving the city, a lot of them have actually remained, and real estate prices have actually increased. We saw a decrease in rents because most of the people that left aren't from here to begin with. And the people that stayed and were buying have been here for some time, or maybe are from here originally, and are in a position now that they can afford something. Now, another reason why SF is so expensive is because it's very costly to build here. On average, the price per square foot for new construction to build starts at $400 plus, leaving very little margin for developers. A typical BMR unit, which is affordable housing here in the city, starts at around $700,000 to construct. Now you add to that zoning challenges, having to obtain permits for construction, and the NIMBYism mentality here in San Francisco, which is short for not in my backyard. It can be very challenging for a developer to come in and construct something. And oftentimes for them to be able to see a profit, it has to be a luxury development. California also has the highest state tax rate in the country. So by way of default, employers have to pay their employees more, making cost of labor more expensive, and we already have a labor shortage. Another reason, and this can be a little controversial, is rent control. So rent control makes it so a tenant stays in a unit longer, which means there's less turnover. So when there's less turnover and you already have very limited housing, that means that the demand is still there, but the supply is short. So supply and demand is how basic economics works. There's a lot of demand here in the city of San Francisco and there's very little supply. Now, if we look at a map of San Francisco, there's a street called Van Ness, which pretty much divides the city into hemispheres, east and west. Anything west of Van Ness is typically zoned for single family or 1 to 4 units. Everything east is zoned for multi-unit 5+. So where we saw a lot of folks leaving the city was east of Van Ness, which is where we had those buildings. A lot of people wanted to be in single family homes, which actually drove up the price of single family homes and lowered the price for rents and condos. Now, not every condo was affected the same. If you're in a 2 to 4 unit condo with outdoor space, those fared pretty well. But if you're in a South Beach condo, Mission Bay condo, where it's 50, 100, 200, 300 plus units, those took a bit of a hit because people didn't want to be sharing the same surfaces, etc. Pre-pandemic, the average rent for a one-bed apartment was $3,700 per month, which is absolutely insane. When I first moved here, I didn't even know how people were able to afford that. In today's time, 2021, which is the date that I'm recording this in, May to be specific, average one-bed apartment is renting for $2,600. Now, the condo market softened up a little bit because of the reasons that I told you before, but the single family house market went through the roof. San Francisco is an extremely resilient city. Back in 1906, when everything was destructed, we found a way to build back and create the beautiful city that we live in today. Even through the Great Depression, none of the financial institutions in San Francisco ever failed. And actually during those same times, San Francisco built the East Bay Bridge and they also built the Golden Gate Bridge. Fun fact for you. Now, even though 2020 was a hard year for a lot of us, the city still found a way to get past it and come back stronger. Yes, rents took a nosedive, but property values actually increased in that same period. And SF is just one of those great cities that even if you try, you can't keep it down for long. I hope you find some of these reasons informative. If you or anyone you know needs help navigating the San Francisco Bay Area real estate market, I would love to be a resource for that. Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what city you're from and where you're watching. I'd love to hear from you. And I will see you guys in the next video.